Hey folks, it's Jovan, Hutton, and on this Tech MOOC, we're going to talk about 3 things which will disrupt 2019. We're going to talk about things like blockchain, dueling AI, and I'm going to drop on you a major hint, in this case a major warning, a major investor warning as a sign not to invest. That's what we're going to talk about coming up next on Tech MOOC.
Welcome to Tech MOOC. What's MOOC? Massive Open Online Courses, and this podcast will give you a massive dose of tech and business savvy. MOOCs from Harvard, MIT, Cambridge and every major university around the globe are the way to stay ahead of the business curve. Your host for this program is Jovan Hutton, the internet pioneer who created Scan to Connect and Scan Commerce. You know, why you're able to scan codes with your mobile device and get information. So let's get started. Here's Jovan.
Welcome to Tech MOOC. You know, everybody tries to pontificate about what exactly is going to disrupt 2019. Have you ever thought about what the street thinks are the 3 hottest things that will disrupt 2019? Well, in this episode, which is brought to you by Forbes magazine and State University of New York, we're going to discuss exactly that. We're going to discuss some really hot topics about what's going on, but I'm more interested to share with you a pitfall. It's an interesting pitfall that most people, most inventors, and most founders of startups never think about. But investors take it as a sure sign to turn and run. I'm going to share that with you. But first, let's get started with the 3 breakthroughs that are predicted to disrupt the tech world in 2019. This is brought to you by Forbes magazine. The number 1 is blockchain-based identity and privacy. You've heard the term blockchain. You know, it's a growing prevalence of data breaches out there that have us all worried about what's going to happen to us and our data in this interconnected world that we live in. We need new ways to verify both identity and protect privacy, and it is those new ways that are predicted to be the game changers for 2019. Now, blockchain's been around for a few years, but it's now to the point to possibly deliver on the robust, incorruptible, yet encrypted record-keeping system that everybody wants. Now, blockchain can also be used for shopping security. Think about this. There's a company called Shopin, S-H-O-P-I-N. It's a startup in the space of blockchain, but it's created the Universal Shopper Profile. What this is, it's kind of backed by blockchain, this secure system, and what happens is their system, unlike most systems in which your purchases history are stored or carefully scrutinized by, let's say, big names such as Google, because you know, it's like you search something one day and then all of a sudden it pops up in an ad the next day for you on Google. Well, shopping restricts its information collecting and sharing only to those entities that you, the actual consumer, grant it to share. And it kind of puts a new spin on how retailers buy ad, which means you can do shopping, S-H-O-P-I-N, shopping the company tokens. You can get paid for viewing ads. Think about that. A consumer who economically benefits when they actually look at the ads. It's not just the people that want to advertise to you. It is, if you look at their ads, you get paid. 2019 is going to be the year that many predict that blockchain is going to break out of its shell and people will know enough about it that they will demand everything being backed by blockchain. Just to give you an idea of how hot blockchain is, here's some of the universities that are offering undergraduate degrees in blockchain now. Stanford Universities, they have 10 courses. Cornell has 9. University of Pennsylvania, 6. The National University of Singapore has 5. Berkeley, University of California has 4. University of California, Los Angeles has 3. The Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich has 3. Harvard University has 2 different courses. Princeton has 2. New York University has 2. And the University of Texas at Austin has 2. Well, hang tight for a minute. We're coming back. We're going to talk about something really cool, dueling AI. We're going to tell you what our MOOC is for this broadcast, and we're going to give you one major warning sign that investors look for in startups, and if you're doing it, it could cause them to run from you. Hang tight. I'll be right back.
Hang tight. Tech MOOC will be right back.
Geico presents Unhelpful Home Improvement How-Tos.
A slippery bathroom floor can result in expensive hospital bills. So today, I'll show you how to cushion a serious fall by filling your bathroom with thousands of plastic balls. Just nail a piece of plywood across the doorway and dump in 2,000 multicolored plastic balls.
You could try to protect yourself with a bathroom full of plastic balls, or you could get liability coverage through the Geico Insurance Agency. Visit geico.com and see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
We're back. Here's Jovan with Tech Mook.
All right, we're back. Let's go right to what this program's MOOC is. It's brought to you by State University of New York, and it's because they have a blockchain certification program. Now, this curriculum is designed to help you to prepare for programming on Ethereum. It's divided into 4 parts. It's a certificate course that covers a range of essential topics from cryptographic underpinnings to enabling decentralized applications. Now, you don't need to know what those are yet because it's a fundamental concept to get you going. You can gain a fundamental working knowledge of all these concepts along with the skills set for designing and implementing smart contracts, along with exploring methods for development applications and learning about the popular frameworks that are used in this incredible field of blockchain. Go look it up. MOOC, Blockchain Certification from the State University of New York. Now let's talk about some of the other things that are impacting 2019 that is predicted by Forbes magazine to be the big disruptors of the year. I love this one. It's called Dueling AI, and it makes perfect sense. It's a simple idea. If you want to make your AI, right, your artificial intelligence, smarter, why not have it battle it out with another AI? Now, in this case, this is going on right now, and the arena is digital images. It's where one AI system attempts to create a realistic image, and another AI system attempts to decide whether the image is real or artificial. It's literally learning 2 things at once, not only to identify certain things, but to identify if it's been created naturally or artificially. This is just one area where AIs can duel. There are many areas where AIs can duel, and in fact, any domain can be modeled by computers, whether it's voice, video, whatever you can think. Now, this concept, which has to do with this dueling AI, but applying it to other industries, it's what's called generative adversarial networks, or GANs. But don't just think about it as dueling, because these systems can sharpen their wits enough to easily break through that sort of gatekeeper software. And so what's going to happen and how it's going to change your online browsing, which goes back to why blockchain is necessary, is a lot of this rapid and independent self-improvement of AIs, which dueling could lead to breakthroughs in medicine, technology, transportation, and any other areas of life, are actually creating priceless information and data at the same time. In fact, Amazon and Alibaba are already diving heavily into this research area. And remember, AI for MOOC courses, all kinds of MOOC courses for AI. Let's talk about the third disruption. This is a little bit different. It's technology, but it's more manufacturing. But this is coming, and it's here now. I've seen some of the products. I've used it myself, and it's amazing that you can do this. 3D metal printing. Now, we're all familiar with 3D printing in plastics. I've even seen houses printed with concrete. Literally, big giant printers that poop out concrete and will build houses. Well, 3D printing is a great example of how incremental innovation can be revolutionary. Remember, there was printing. Then there was 3D printing, and now there's little leaps and bounds on top of that. We've always had printers and parts manufacturing, and 3D plastic printing has taken it now to the consumer and the prosumer level. But 3D metal printing is poised to be the next big wave in industry. GE has been printing metal fuel nozzles for its leap jet engines, and Nike's even printing the metal cleats for their footline. Now, looking towards more delicate products, the 3D metal industry is also changing the jewelry business. With a 3D printer, a massive factory is no longer needed to create beautiful pieces of small or medium-sized businesses. You don't have to have all these people working for you. So now you can get into mass manufacturing as a jeweler because these 3D printers can print gold, silver, and other precious metals. Now, most people won't fork over the thousands of dollars for a 3D printer that can print plastics and basic materials, but think about this. Prices are coming down, and even these 3D printers are beginning to print electronic devices. They're literally just printing the device, which means not making the board and other stuff touching it. They're making the whole thing at one time in one fell swoop. That can only lead to cost savings, saving time, and saving money. 3D printing looks to be incredibly huge. Now let's talk for your big startup tip and warning sign for the day. I could tell you about this one personally since I've made this mistake. Not once, but 3 times. Yep. It was a very, very hard lesson for me to learn personally, and that's because I care deeply about my family. Our number one major investor and startup warning sign that we're going to talk about for this program is the almost automatic pitfall of hiring family and friends. A lot of founders do this. A lot of new startups do this. I'm going to give you the personal account of one individual who did this. He's a publisher on Medium, but I just want to say it from his standpoint. And this is his quote of how it affected his business where he hired family and friends. This is perhaps the biggest mistake I made of all. When the business grew, I became desperate for talent to build a team. I became overexcited and reached out to friends and family members to join my team. There was a feeling of personal responsibility to do so. When my ex lost her full-time job, I decided to support her. I inducted her into my company as a woman co-founder to showcase women empowerment impact. Now, several months into the team building, things began to fall apart. It was almost like a perfect setup for failure. I faced the most difficult period in my entrepreneurial life, facing things like passiveness, insubordination, excuses, betrayal, arrogance, greed, laziness, ego, and substandardness. I realized some of it happened only because I am family. Then, followed by a nasty separation with my ex, a damaged relationship with some friends and family members. This was the lowest point in my startup career ever. It's important to build a company culture first and hire talent into it, exclusively based on skills and deliverables agreed, signed, and documented. Boy, I can tell you, folks, this is one you definitely want to avoid. It's bad enough finding good talent, loyal talent. You want dedicated, skilled talent, not sycophantic talent. But if the time ever comes you have to shift people, move people, demote people, or God forbid, lay people off, you think it's hard laying off loyal people? Try, like I had to do, doing it to multiple family members. It is a horrible lesson, and that's one I can tell you. If you look at the roster of the new startup and you find family member after family member after family member, I know most VCs and investors see that as a warning sign that there could be troubles down the road, but it could also be a warning sign that either the founder does not trust people very much, therefore he won't attract or she won't attract good talent, or it could also be the sign that a founder might be weak and needs support of those who will do only what she wants them to do. It, in either way, reflects badly on the company. People should be there for their talent and skills that they bring to the table. Nothing more, nothing less. I hope you enjoyed this Tech MOOC. See you again next time.
Thanks for being with us here on Tech MOOC. You can find each episode using hashtag TechMOOC or search hashtag Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. Until next time.